So I'll go hands on the microphone, my nightmare.
Is that your nightmare? Why is that your nightmare?
Because I don't know what to do with my hands at all. So
like that's why you play guitar and sing. Just
yeah, it's just so I have something to do with my hands.
You're listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste.
I want to take a quick moment to highlight a review of the show by SC Malley. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But they wrote on Apple Podcasts, this podcast is the perfect blend of nostalgia and new for millennials who grew up discovering their favorite bands on MySpace. Matt conducts great interviews with thoughtful questions. I highly recommend this podcast. So thank you so much. And that makes me really, really happy to hear. And if you enjoy the show, please go and leave a review. Those do go a long, long way. Today's guest, I think you're really going to be excited for if you know who she is. And if you don't, then go and listen to her stuff and come back, and then you'll be really excited. Her music is fantastic. Sydney Sprague, I caught her opening up for Spanish Love Songs last year and absolutely loved her vibe. She's also toured with bands like Jimmy Eat World, Dashboard Confessional, The Front Bottoms, and many, many others. She's got an album coming out September 26th called Peak Experience, and she's already dropped 4 songs off that album. They're all great. I've received an advance copy of the record. It's a fantastic record, so I want to get that right out there from the start. Sydney, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to talk about those 4 songs because they're already released. They're out there, but it's also an 8-track record. So half of the record is technically already out. Did you consider that when dropping the singles for this?
Yes, I did. I know that it's a short record, and I think I kind of generally gravitate to shorter albums and shorter songs in general. I think there's something about like cramming a lot of like good hooky, like cramming a lot of song into not that much space, and it makes me listen over and over again. And so that was kind of what I wanted to do with this record. And yeah, I wanted to really like take my time with the rollout and like let each song have a life of its own for at least a little bit. So it felt nice to get, at least half of the record out song by song, let people really sit with them for a minute. I wish I could have done it with all 8, but that would be weird.
I guess you'd be one of the first or only people to do that. It may not be a bad rollout. It's like, hey, song by song.
Maybe.
It's kind of
we'll have to try
technically what Haley Williams maybe just did.
Kind of. Yeah, that was definitely like a groundbreaking strategy. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, I heard some mentionings of how it was like sort of a way to like challenge the way that we stream music, which it definitely did something because the way people were streaming it were definitely different. But I want to stay on the short album thing for a hot minute because I'm the type of person where I personally prefer short albums that don't overstay their welcome, that can be repeated over and over and over again, and compared to like the longer ones where maybe they have some songs in the middle or towards the end where they kind of like lose you and then come back around. Is there a particular reason as to why you like the shorter albums more? And now is that just also for your own type of music, or is that the way that you listen to music as well?
I think it's definitely the way that I listen to music. I think it's partially an attention span thing. At least a little bit. Like, I don't know that I have the attention span for a very long record, and I don't expect other people to either. But I think like what you're saying, like it's kind of a quality thing too. Like I don't want to overstay my welcome. I don't want to be writing songs just to write them. I want the record to be just the bangers, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So like no filler, just the good stuff. I think that feels best to me, and it's easy to digest, and I hope there's no skips on this record. There's not for me, but who knows?
So of those 4 songs, because, going back to it again, that's 50% of your album. How did you choose which half of the album you wanted out there first?
Honestly, just vibes. I think Fairfield was kind of the first song that stuck out as a part of this project. And so it felt right for that to be first. And I really, really love As Scared as Can Be. Flat Circle, I think, is just like a strong song from this collection to like be a single. I guess. And then Long Island makes no sense for a single because it's 1 minute and like 20 seconds long, and it is just acoustic guitar and my voice. But we made a music video for it before we even like started talking about what the singles would be or like any of that stuff. We had made the album art in my living room. It's like this little set, a little miniature field with a tornado and stuff. We were like, while we have this up, we should just make a music video. So we made a music video for that song, and we're like, well, we made it, so we have to, it's a single now. No choice.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy not to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some pretty heavy praise by Chris Walla. And for those that don't recognize the name, he's best known for playing guitar and writing songs in Death Cab for Cutie. And he said that Flat Circle was actually Song of the Year.
Dude.
So what was that like to kind of get that praise from him?
Crazy. I mean, he is my number one hero, like producer of my dreams. I've been obsessed with Death Cab for Cutie since I was a teenager. Him in particular, I love him. And my first record I made at Hall of Justice, which was his studio at the time, where they made all the early Death Cab records. And I literally just wanted to like be in that room and I don't know, see how that record was made and in the space it was made in. And like, it's crazy to have acknowledgement from someone that you idolize in that way. I think it was on Blue Sky that he said that. And I commented back and I said something like, "You're my hero," and he didn't respond. So I don't know.
So he just like found your song and was like, "This is Song of the Year. I'm going to post about it." There was no like past sort of communication, nothing. It was just, "Hey, I found this song that I really, really love and I'm going to make a post about it." And you were like, "Oh, hey, this is crazy."
Oh, hey, I love you. Yeah. Okay. I will say there is like a small connection because I have worked in his studio. So I have technically emailed with him, like renting the room. But also Mike Davis, who mixed the record, was like, Chris was a mentor of his and he works out of that studio. So they've worked together a lot. And, you know, I'm sure that was a part of that connection, but either way.
There's some kind of tie. Someone along the line handed somebody an email with an MP3 and was like, "Hey, listen to the song." And he was like, "Holy shit."
He was like, "Song of the Year," apparently.
Song of the freaking year.
Okay.
I love that.
Thanks, Chris.
I can really hear the Death Cab influence in your songs in the sense of your songs are very much like about heartbreak and they're emotional, but there's this weird sort of like melodic, and I say weird because I don't know what other word to kind of put towards it, but there's this like melodic and kind of catchy, somewhat happiness to it as well. You know, at least like the instrumental structure and that where it's like, okay, I hear that Death Cab influence where it's gut wrenching, but also you kind of like just vibing.
That's the goal. Thank you.
Is that something that you actively thought about when you started writing songs in the style of Sydney Sprague?
I don't know if was necessarily on purpose, but I do think that that's like a lot of my background and like my taste in music was, you know, bands like Death Cab for Cutie, growing up on like pop music, Britney Spears, NSYNC. And I love how music makes me feel. I love when a song is like fun and happy and like takes me to a different place physically. But also the content of the lyrics is resonating emotionally. When you can meet both of those, it feels just like euphoric. It's like the best feeling. So I think marrying the kind of like fun, we're having a good time, the music is a vibe, but also we're talking about our issues.
What song is the most emotional to you on the record?
I think Critical Damage, maybe.
And what song would you say is the most fun?
I think As Scared as Can Be is the most fun. That one's a real party vibe.
And, you know, both of those are fantastic songs. It's always interesting to know, like, you know, how the artist is interpreting those as their fun songs or their emotional songs. It's also your first independent record as well. Has being independent changed anything for you when it comes to your songwriting process?
I would say so. Yeah. I think it's been really nice to just be able to make all of the decisions on my own, not having to like send somebody the demos and be like, which of these are you okay with? Like I was the decider of every step of the process. And so that has been like very empowering, or like it's felt really good to be in charge.
Do you ever miss, like, I don't know, I guess having other hands in the pot in a sense of like collaborating, because you're writing your songs on your own, and just kind of getting that feedback from other people, because I guess it really depends within the music world, right? Because you might have differing opinions and labels given their thoughts, which may not necessarily always be the best, but still sometimes if you're unsure, to lean on a shoulder, do you have any shoulders like that you kind of lean on and bounce ideas off of? And
I definitely still have like that support system in my own camp. Like my band, my partner Chuck is a huge help for me in like producing the songs, and I trust his taste very much, and I think he will tell me if something is bad. My guitar player Sebastian is also super involved, and then I have an awesome manager that guides me, and I think also would tell me if something was bad. But I think what I've learned from my last record, Somebody in Hell Loves You, to this record is like, I do think that there is value in those opinions, especially like when you're trying to climb in the music industry and have success. There is weight to certain opinions as far as like what could potentially be successful. But I don't know, there's something about like your gut instinct as an artist, and like your original idea being the right idea most of the time, I think, is where I've gotten now. And, maybe I'm wrong sometimes, but I think the point of making art is to express what's going on with you. And I think that people can tell when there's other influences going on there sometimes.
I think that's a great take, especially because, it's your intuition, your songwriting that's really gotten you that far. And maybe a couple of other people have pushed you in one direction or another. And just speaking, not necessarily towards you, but just like anyone in general when it comes to building out that career. But speaking directly to you, like you've carved out this pathway for yourself, and trusting your instincts is going to have to be that one thing that you rely on the most, right?
Yeah, totally.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about, because Natalie, our friend Natalie, described you as the queen of memes when we were talking about you. Yeah. She's like the queen of memes. Check out her Instagram account.
I love memes.
Which, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening, go and follow her on Instagram as well. Queen of memes. So do you ever feel like your sense of humor, because you've got that sense of humor, helps you connect with people or with your audience, even beyond the music as well?
I think so. Yeah. I think like being chronically online is just kind of a part of everyone's experience right now. And I love engaging and interacting with people that way. Even if I wasn't doing music, I like want to share memes with my friends and giggle at pictures of weird dogs. And yeah, I think just like having the ability to connect with anyone that way, just my favorite thing. So I like it.
How does it impact music writing?
It's seeping in. I think it is seeping in, like the like brain rot language and the way that I speak and like the references. It's inevitable that at a certain point, like if you are absorbing so much of that kind of material, like you'll sweat it out, like it'll come back in the sauce. So some of the meme speak is starting to show up in my lyrics, for better or worse.
Now, in your lyrics, none of the song titles just yet. That might be the next level.
Let's go. Next record is all memes, all meme-based songs.
All meme titles. Mm-hmm. Hot Mulligan just did that.
Dude, I was just talking to my partner Chuck about this. Their song titles on the new record are crazy.
They just went all in. They were like, fuck it. We're not going to have one normal title. Like in the past, they've had some, like a mix of both. Mm-hmm. But this time around, they were just like, nah, every single one's going to be a joke. And then we're hitting you with some emotional, gut-wrenching lyrics on every single one of them.
It's crazy. The record is so good. But yeah, I love how silly they are. It's so nice.
At what point do you find that there's like sort of that line with you with that silliness? Because, you know, there's some silliness there with you as well. So is there like a line for you where you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm willing to be silly, but not that silly?
I don't think so. I think I haven't pushed maybe the boundary yet enough to know where my personal like sensibility is on the silliness, but I think I could go all in on silly and just do joke band and I would be really happy.
Because you mentioned that you have some of that like chronic online, maybe speak or the memes kind of seeping a little bit into the music. What's that like hidden little meme or gem that's in one of the songs that is kind of referencing the seep in?
I think like I'm so small and as scared as can be is definitely like, this is who your email is finding, little mouse in a princess dress, you know, kind of thing. I'm trying to remember. I know that there's a Tim Robinson joke somewhere in the record, tucked away in there. Critical Damage, I think, to me is kind of memey. It's like, I'm so dead. 5 of memes. I don't know. There's nuggets in there.
I need to know what song has the Tim Robinson reference in it now.
I'm trying to think because I've actually have like 4 or 5 songs that were like my concept to start them was Tim Robinson bit. So I'm trying to remember which one made it and I can't remember. I'll get back to you.
You'll have to get back to me. I'll put it in the show notes. By the way, the Tim Robinson one is this song. Mm-hmm. And it was this skit. Do you ever write songs thinking about how they'll play live?
Kind of. I think about like the kind of energy I want in a show. I think like touring with the kind of bands I've toured with, especially like the Front Bottoms and the way that those songs translate in a really high energy way is a factor. But I think sometimes I maybe overestimate like how easy or how like playable something will be when we actually go to like rehearse the songs. We're like, this is so hard. Like Sebastian and I were trying to learn Flat Circle the other day because we hadn't played it since we recorded it. And we were like, I don't know how we're going to do this. The guitar parts on that song are like inhuman to play, kind of.
And you're playing guitar while you're singing as well, right?
Yeah.
Time to hire another guitarist.
Dude, we might have to. I'll go hands on the microphone. My nightmare.
Is that your nightmare? Why is that your nightmare?
Because I don't know what to do with my hands at all. So
like that's why you play guitar and sing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just so I have something to do with my hands.
That's the best answer ever. But your hands can hold the microphone, you know?
One of them, but then what am I doing with this one? I couldn't.
Waving around. Just get the crowd to bop along.
Yeah.
There you go. Figuring out what to do with your hands. Holding both of them. There's so many things you could do with your hands on stage.
I know. And I see people do it. It looks so cool, but I just don't think I have it like that. I'm too awkward.
I love that. That is actually my favorite reasoning as to why you play guitar and sing. I don't know what to do with my hands to just sing.
It's too scary. Can't dance.
I'll tell you what, you do it for one song, get someone to come out there, play it for one song, and then you'll like slowly get into it, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a little break.
Just embarrass myself. It's crazy because
if you think about it, it's like you have that anxiety about what to do with your hands, but also at the same time, like your whole job is literally like majority of people's greatest fears. Like I'm pretty sure that like stage fright or like public speaking is like the second biggest fear of all time. I'm pretty sure it's actually above dying.
Above dying?
Yeah. Like more people are afraid to publicly speak or like be on stage and perform than to die.
I get it. I get it. That tracks.
But what to do with my hands? Now that's
I don't know. I don't know.
What songs from the new record are you most excited to play?
We played Fairfield a bit on the tour we did earlier this year, and it just felt so good. So I'm really excited to play that one some more. I think Critical Damage is another one that I'm just really excited. It has such a cool feel to it. And I'm really into playing acoustic right now. I've been playing mostly electric on tours for the last few years, and this record is pretty like distorted acoustic guitar heavy is kind of like the primary instrument. So I'm really excited to get more into that.
Talk to me a little bit about Fairfield, because that's probably the biggest single so far, unless I've got my numbers wrong. But it's definitely one of my favorites of the early 4 releases as well. Tell me a little bit about actually writing that song and the process behind that one.
Yeah, that one was like a true brain dump. I wrote it pretty much in just like one shot. Like it all just came out at once. It's like right when we got home from the Spanish Love Songs tour that you saw me on, which was last spring, I think.
Honestly, I went to so many concerts last year. I've got like, they're all just a giant blur. I don't know what part of the year they were.
I think it was last spring, or maybe, I don't know.
Spring, summer.
Yeah.
It might have been like June or something. I feel like that feels right.
It was cold.
Like May or June.
I remember it was cold, but I guess I
have it in my calendar if we want to look.
I also, if only there was a way we could know.
If only there was something like an internet connection where we could possibly figure that out.
Right. But yeah, it was right when we got home from that tour, and this one night on tour, someone in the touring party had given us some special gummies, which, cool. Thank you for the nice gift. But something has changed in my brain chemistry in the last 5 or 6 years, and I just like cannot hang. I'm not cool, and I'm not a good time when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so we had a day off in Hays, Kansas. Don't know if you've ever been there, but I think it's a town of like 14 people. It's a very, very small town.
Okay.
And so that's where we landed for the night, and we had these special gummies, and we were like, maybe that's how we relax tonight. And so we ate them, and then I spiraled in a way that I don't know what happened to me, but we walked, it was in this parking lot, we walked to an Applebee's, and it hit in the Applebee's, and I was like,
oh no.
We're in this town that's literally, I think there's a college in this town, and the whole town is run by college kids. The guy that checked us into our hotel was like a child, and they're all really nice, but everyone knows each other. Everyone knows each other. So we walk into the Applebee's, and people are like who's the new people? Like automatically a weird vibe, but then the gummy starts hitting, and I'm like, everyone knows. Everyone knows.
They're all staring at me.
Yeah.
This
and
is the one time where they actually were, but it wasn't.
But it had nothing to do with that. So yeah, that just, I thought about it for a lot after that and was like, damn, that was crazy. And so it was it's about that in particular, but also just about, every tour is just a fever dream in a lot of ways. And you get home and you're like, so much happened, and people are like, how was it? And you're like, well, it was everything. Like it was like ups and downs and mid and like everything at once. So it's hard to even describe it, but kind of just wanted to capture like the roller coaster feeling as soon as I got back, and that's what came out.
Now, when you get home, how do you manage that roller coaster and that come down?
I don't know. It's really challenging for me. I think that's like honestly the hardest part. I love being on tour. I love being at home, but the in-betweens of both are just like so jarring for me. And I get into a routine in either environment, and switching over just like rattles me. So when I get home, I'm like, there's the post-tour depression that is very real, because you're like all day, every day, kind of like rat on a wheel, trying to get the cheese at all moments. And then you get home and there's like, I don't have to do anything today. I don't have to drive 6 hours and then do the sound check and then play the show and then sell the shirts. And I'm not with my best friends all day, every day. They like go home to their girlfriends or something. I don't know. It's a lot. So I think I try to be easy on myself, but then I also try to force back into my normal routine like as fast as I can so that I don't feel like I'm a nothing person.
Adjusting on over and doing that, like that's tough. But then you mentioned that you eventually do adjust on over and then you're doing your home thing. What are you mostly doing when you're at home between tours?
So trying to take care of myself, going to the gym, cooking a lot, hanging out with my roommate's cat is like a good chunk of it. And then I play kind of like acoustic cover gigs when I'm home to, pay the bills and keep playing, keep the like wheels turning on that. So.
And when are you writing most of this? Like, when do you feel most inspired? Is it when you're at home in between the tours? Is it while you're on tour and taking gummies? Like,
that doesn't happen a lot, just for the record. I think mostly when I'm at home, when I'm on tour, I'll like, every once in a while, like have an idea and like type something into my notes app, but there's never really much alone time, which I feel like I really require to write. Very shy about it. Like I won't even write like if my roommate is home most of the time. I don't know. I'm pretty weird about it, but yeah, when I'm home, I have the space to actually like vocalize ideas and sit with the guitar and strum things out.
There's a lot of vulnerability in your lyrics, and you kind of mentioned, so I can see how you can get shy being around. I mean, I make content and I could be shy filming around friends.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. So it's like, I totally understand that, especially where you're coming from with the vulnerability of the song that you're writing. So at what point does a song go from, this is really vulnerable and I don't want anyone to hear me writing this process, to, hey, I'm going to go play this in front of thousands of people?
That is so funny. Yeah. I think as soon as it's like finished, as soon as it's like in its full form, like even just acoustic and vocal, like as soon as all the lyrics are done, that for some reason makes it okay to like show my friends and family and like, play in front of people. And there is still there will always be some awkwardness to some of the songs for sure. Like the more they get produced and the more other people get involved, it like kind of puts a little bit of a wall up. That feels a little bit better because it's not just me and my guitar anymore. It's like now Seb's guitar is there too, and there's drums, and like that helps, but always a little awkward.
Yeah. So I had a conversation with Good Terms a little while back, and I remember them saying that, they get very vulnerable in their lyrics, but they have each other to kind of hide behind, because it's like, if they have something that's really vulnerable, you don't know which one of them wrote it, because all four of them are actually writing lyrics and writing songs. So,
that's nice.
Someone's mom might think, oh, you wrote that about me, didn't you? And it's like, no, he wrote it about his mom. It's like, I'm not telling you who wrote it.
That's nice.
You don't really have anyone to hide behind. So have you ever had any of those like awkward encounters where you're like, hey, you were really vulnerable in that song? Like, are you okay? Or are you okay with that person? Like, is there any sort of like awkward moments that have come from being vulnerable in your music from the people around you?
Fortunately, no. I think everyone around me knows me well enough to just pretend like they don't
pretend they didn't hear it.
Pretend they don't know what I'm talking about. Which is funny. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone has ever been like, concerned, because this is just, I've been writing songs since I was like 8 or 9. And so like my parents were like, yeah, she just does that. It's just, don't worry about it.
It's how she manages.
It's how it's, she's fine because of it. So it's the thing. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess luckily no. But I am terrified of that. I live in fear.
just living in fear of
Living in
someone
fear.
coming up to you and be like, that song's about that person, isn't it?
Dude, the day that happens, I'm so cooked. I feel it coming. When people ask me what things are about, I always manage to find vague terms. Like, it's about that general feeling when somebody does this. It's like,
It's about that time I took gummies.
that one, yeah, that's a different story. That is like, I can talk about that one.
With that being said, we kind of talked a little bit about live music and playing some of these new songs live. You're about to headline this fall and then join Pool Kids in the UK. What are you most excited about for these tours?
All of it. I've been home for the better part of this year. The only other run we did was in March. So I've been home like the entire summer. So I'm antsy to get out of here. But the US tour is like mostly Midwest and East Coast, a lot of my favorite cities, a lot of my favorite food cities. So I'm excited to eat a lot of good stuff and drink a lot of good coffee and see friends. And then for the UK tour, I'm just excited for all of it because I've never been. So it's going to be my first time over, really out of the country besides Canada or Mexico. So out of the continental area, it's my first time for any of it.
Is there a city that you are particularly excited to go to?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the cities in the UK to even know what I should be excited for. I need people to tell me because I have no idea what's going on. Have you been?
All right, so leave those in the comments and let Sydney know where to go or what some spots are.
Yeah, give me food recommendations.
I think in today's day and age of the internet, you should probably fact check any comment. Just,
Mm-hmm.
just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of those, as someone that's chronically online as well, I feel like, we look out for each other. You ever see some of those like TikToks where, being from Toronto and Canada, people will troll and be like, oh yeah, look, this is so beautiful in this part of Toronto. And it's like not a beautiful part of Toronto. And they make it look like it's like the mountains.
Yes.
Dude. You do not want to book a trip to go to that city. Please do not do that.
No, I see those all the time for Arizona. Though it'll be like, like oasis in the middle of the desert. And they're like, yeah, this amazing spot at 27th Avenue and Indian School. I'm like, no,
no, don't go there.
Don't go.
No. So you just got to be careful with that. Maybe do a little bit of research before heading to the UK. I've been to London. London is a beautiful city. I genuinely really enjoyed London. So nice. I think you're going to have a lot of fun in the UK. I feel like the UK is a fun place to be.
I'm so excited.
And I'm sure some people that are listening from the UK are going to be like, London, England, UK, I don't know. It's kind of like, people thinking that Canada is just one state.
Right.
It's just like one place.
People get desensitized to the place they live. It loses its specialness when you're not, just visiting, I guess.
You know what? I think that'll be a lot of fun. Really cool that you're going to be doing that with Pool Kids as well.
So excited.
They're fantastic. They dropped an awesome record earlier this year as well.
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
So the new album, Peak Experience. Outside of music, what's been a peak experience in your life so far?
Honestly, not to just talk about touring all the time, but that is kind of how the name came about and kind of what the record is about. Like, that is like a true peak experience because it encompasses like all things. I think but the conversation that led to the title was about that, about like how a peak experience isn't just like, okay, this is the most incredible thing. It's like also the worst thing and like everything in between. It's like the full spectrum of emotions. And I think that touring has definitely been that for me. It's been the peak of my experience.
That's a great explanation. I love that. I love that it's also about touring.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
what I've been doing. So I guess, yeah.
Any other plans for the year or anything that we haven't heard of yet in terms of touring or new music, or is there anything else for people to watch out for besides, the album coming out very, very soon and watching for that tour that starts in October here in North America? What else can people watch out for?
I guess that's kind of it as far as music and shows. There will be a couple local shows for people in Phoenix to celebrate the record that haven't been announced yet. And then there is one more music video coming, which is my personal favorite of all of the music videos we've done. I think ever. I think it is my favorite music video I've ever done. So I'm really
Do we
excited.
say for what song?
It's for your favorite, ironically.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's your favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
So one thing that we do here as we wrap up the show is we always get some more recommendations because the podcast is about growing the show, growing the scene, and checking out new music. It's the whole spirit of it. So who's an underrated band that you feel, or artist that you feel right now more people need to check out?
I'm obsessed with Dev Lemons right now. And I don't know, I would say that she's underrated. I think she's a star. She's so incredible and her music is so interesting. And her newest record just came out, and have you ever listened to her before?
No.
It's really
I will check
cool.
her out after this though.
Her singles were really misleading in a way that I loved, because I was expecting something from the record and then it came out and it was like a gut punch because it is so heavy and so crazy, and she's screaming all over it, and she has the weirdest, coolest sounding scream. So yeah, I love her. I could talk about her forever.
I love that. I'll have to check it out afterwards. I also like the misleading side of things as well.
I was really inspired by that. I thought it was a really cool move because one single was like it was like kind of a traditional pop song. Like it felt very like toxic Britney Spears, but like in an indie kind of like grungy sort of way. And then there was a song that was really stripped down acoustic, and then the record just is like crazy. It's really crazy sounding.
That's amazing. I love that. So, well, Sydney, thank you so much for coming on again. And for everybody listening, please remember to leave that review, leave the 5 stars, subscribe or like on YouTube, subscribe and like, not or. It's not a one or the other.
You must do both.
And of course, check out Sydney's new album, September 26th. Go and pre-save it. Links will be in the description. Check her out on Instagram as well for the Queen of Memes. And give her a follow everywhere. You will have all of that information in the description on the podcast and on YouTube. Sydney, thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste. If you enjoyed yourself, please support the show by subscribing and leaving a review.